Darren, thanks so much for joining me.
That's comfortable.
So I feel like I'm in a real sacred space. It's been a while since I've been in the barbershop.
You're definitely in a sacred place. Like, the fact that you're in here makes me very happy because we haven't actually had that many like females in here.
Okay.
But when we do have females in here, obviously they're getting their trim. But obviously you're not getting your haircut today.
Not today. I did used to have short hair, but that was a long time
If you want to
ago.
fade,
okay,
we're here for you. Now.
I'm coming to the right guy.
Yeah.
So you are the founder of Trim It. Can you tell me a little bit about that and the concept, everything?
Yeah, sure. So as you said, I'm the founder of Trim It. Trim It is the UK's first tech-enabled mobile barbershop. So what that means is we thought it would be a good idea to put a barbershop in the back of a van, and through our app you're able to book said barbershop to your location. So that could be your house, it could be your office, it could be the gym. We've actually had one person that actually got a trim right outside the club. Went outside the club, got a trim, then went back into the club. So a little flex there, but yeah.
That's the perfect promotion, I can imagine.
Honestly, it was wavy, it was crazy. I was annoyed because I didn't actually get the chance to film it, but yeah.
It was
it's
organic.
A story. Yeah,
it was organic. Perfect. So how did it all come about? I mean, it's a brilliant idea, obviously, but what made you think this is what we should be doing right now?
Yeah, so initially, in fact, so the actual story of Trim It was, Trim It, as you know, is a bit of a mistake. So Trim It actually started off as a marketplace platform, so you're able to find your local barbers and book a barber or book yourself into a barbershop. So we had over like 300 barbers on the platform at one stage. We were doing like 2,000 bookings, and my problem was at that stage was that like we just didn't know how to make money from it, first of all. But then on top of it, like our barbers were very shit. If I'm gonna put it bluntly, basically, like people would book in and not be able to still have to like wait 2 hours, or people would book in and the barber hasn't turned up. And for me, like, I'm just very experiential. I just want the whole experience to be amazing. So there was one day like where I was in the office. This was in Shoreditch, and I was just mad down. And one of my boys came to kind of console me, and I was like, "Bro, I'm this close to like giving up." But I've told him about this idea that I had about putting a barbershop in the back of a van. And I was like, "Look, like, because I had the last 15k in the bank as well," and I was like, "I might just try it." And he was like, "Darren, I'm not gonna lie, the idea sounds nuts, but I feel like you're the only one that's able to pull it off." So whenever people say like, "Oh, Darren, you're the founder of Trim It," I'm always like, "Nah." In fact, it's this guy called Say, because he encouraged me to go and do it. If that makes sense, yeah. But it came about as a result of like the frustration from going to a barbershop, having to wait hours, and me wanting to think like, right, like what could I do to kind of refine that whole experience and make it amazing.
Yeah, no, it makes complete sense. I think I've only ever seen one. Well, I've seen like a barbershop, a barber's that's parked up somewhere in Woolwich, but it's not a black barber's. That's another thing. That's another niche. I know that you do cut, well, not you personally, but your barbers do cut people from various different backgrounds. But I think there is something within the black space where it would be nice to go somewhere where you know you're going to get your hair cut on time. Has that been any feedback that you've had about it?
Yeah, so we have like quite a lot of like Afro-Caribbean customers based in like the city, for example. So when they're in the city and they're on a lunch break and they don't know, obviously a lot of the barbers in the local area are catered towards like European hairstyles. So it's nice for them to be able to book us, and they first of all know that we're going to be on time. They know that they're going to get like a really professional service. But most importantly, they're going to get a trim that is amazing, suited to their hair type. But that being said, we have barbers that are black, we have barbers that are Asian, we have barbers that are white, kind of thing. So we do cater to everybody, but at least like we cater to black people, and that's a really important like customer segment for us.
Definitely, I can see why that is. I noticed on Twitter, I first found out about you guys on Twitter, and I noticed that you were very honest about the journey, that it has had its highs and lows. And that I love that you use GIFs to illustrate these points as well. That was brilliant. Some of your most difficult moments were in raising investment, and I'd love for you to just unpack that a little bit for us.
Yeah, like when you're saying unpack that, I didn't know we were going to go that deep, because sometimes it can be very emotional. But yeah, when it comes to raising investment, one thing I didn't realise or didn't anticipate, because imagine like I've got this idea and I genuinely think that this thing is amazing. Like being in the mobile barbershop, like it doesn't lose its wow factor for me. And when you're going to investors, you're getting a lot of no's. You're going to get more no's than yes. You're going to get people that tell you your idea is terrible. You're going to get people to tell you to do something else with it, or come back to me when you have done X, Y, and Z, when it's not kind of part of the journey that you wanted to do. And yeah, so the most difficult thing is just the sheer amount of no's that you're going to get, and the amount of people that just don't rate you as a person as well. So one of the things that I tried to do, one of the things that I did at the beginning, which I completely never do now, was some of the investors that I was speaking to, I would try and replicate the person I was looking in front of me. So I wouldn't sometimes go to an investor and I'd be suited and booted, or I would go to an investor and I'll put on my phone voice kind of thing, and that got me nowhere. But not only did it get me nowhere, but it left me feeling like very deflated. And what I saw, which was really interesting, was when I just was completely myself, that's when breakthroughs started to happen. That's when relationships started to be built, and that's when I was able to just be my authentic self, but build like really, really real relationships. And that's when the money started flowing through, and that's when people started saying yes. So yeah, the things that were difficult was just the no's, but you get through that.
So it seems like authenticity worked. It always works, I guess, and people bought into your personal brand. That's interesting, because I guess being a man of colour, that can have its own, how can I put it, like complexities, I guess. But in your case, you found that being yourself just completely works for you and opened doors.
Yeah, 100%. Like I can even give you another example, like where it can be a bit complex, and it's not only being a man of colour, but it's also being a young man of colour from ends kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I remember one of my advisors, sorry, I don't want to at him, but one of my advisors gave me some really shit advice, which is like, bro, like Darren, like quit your job, because I was in a 9 to 5 at the time. Quit your job and do trim it full time. Like you can only really push trim it when you put all your time into it. And it's just like, and I followed it, because I was able to save up 10k, but then that money went quickly, and it's just like, rah, not only is trim it broke, but I'm also very broke as well. So it's just that the reality for that guy was that he had the safety net of his family, he had the safety net of, I don't know, generations of wealth kind of thing, whereas me, it's not necessarily the same. I couldn't rely on the bank of mum and dad, because it's just not a thing for us. So yeah,
different socio-economical backgrounds, and
completely.
That just dictates everything. Well, not everything, but a lot of things. And I appreciate you sharing that as well.
Cool.
Okay, so I've asked a few guys to put forward their burning questions to you.
Right.
As a woman, I'm only going to be able to ask so much. I've been in a barbershop a few times. I know there's girls that sometimes get their hair cut there, but I thought I'd go and ask the experts. So, how do you attract brothers who are 100% loyal to their barber? Have you got any stories of secret switches?
There's no real secret switch. We've got like a tactic that we use, which is basically your first haircut is for free. Basically, we run a subscription type business where you pay monthly ahead of your haircut. But your first haircut, just like a Netflix, is always going to be free, and that's for us to just prove to you that not only is the trim going to be fire, but the service and the all-round experience is completely like out of this world compared to what your barber's giving you. So we're really confident in the fact that it looks like we're going to do a really sick job, and I feel like consumers are consumers. You can say this whole loyalty thing, but I suppose my hypothesis from the very beginning with this whole barber loyalty thing is not real. If you come and give someone a better haircut at a better price or at a better experience, they will leave. And that hypothesis is definitely correct.
I might have a client for you, because I'm not atting anybody, but I know someone who I'm very close with who's not loyal to any barber.
Yeah.
And I honestly think if this service was brought to him, because he doesn't get his hair cut every 2 weeks or so, but if it was brought to him, I don't see why he wouldn't be loyal. So
yeah. I thought he was going to be like, I know someone whose hairline's not even that good.
No, I'm not trying to push it to anybody at all. So that leads me on to the next question, actually. What do you look for when choosing your barbers?
There's a lot of things.
Right.
Yeah, so one, they go through quite a rigorous process when it comes to like if their haircuts are good. so they need to be able to give a sick haircut. In fact, a lot of the time they're practicing on me. So I've had many instances where I've had to go to a head barber and be like, yo, Chris, please fix me up.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's a bit mad. But not only are we looking at people that can cut hair, because there's actually a lot of people that can give good haircuts. We're looking at now like professionalism, like how well can you track your time as well. So we have a thing within Trim It where you have to be able to at least give a full haircut, so fade and beard within 40 minutes, and that's kind of your minimum passing kind of thing. But then we're talking about professionalism, we're talking about level of banter. We have secret things which I probably shouldn't be revealing, but during like the interview process and you're giving me a haircut, Nana's gonna actually be like throwing in jokes, making sure that there's banter involved, and trying to catch you off guard, just to see if you're able to still be attentive to the customer and all that type of jazz. Right. So, and then hygiene's a massive one as well. So we're watching.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're watching.
When it's that intimate, I guess it is quite important.
Yeah, it's super important. So like, we're small stuff like your nails. Like, is there dirt under your nails, and are you using the right clipper side and all of that type of jazz? So yeah.
Wow, that's real attention to detail there.
Yeah, proper.
You just keep on naturally flowing on to the next questions that I had from people. So, someone said, a couple man with plaits like to go and jam in their local barbers. You know the type. How would you entice those who go barbers just for the banter?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for us, you're not like, our customer base is not going to the barbers just for banter.
Yeah.
So they're the type of people that kind of want to get their hair cut and cut. They definitely don't want to be sitting down for hours in the barbershop. So those men that want to just chill in the barbershop, they're probably not for us, and we're happy. We don't mind if we don't capture everybody. We're just trying to capture a particular type of person.
Yeah, you know your market. In hindsight, I'm guessing that you've definitely learned a lot from starting and now running a business. What has been your most valuable learning or learnings that you can share with us?
This one's there's two. One is very fluffy and one is like very practical. The first one that's very practical is just cash is king. Just make sure you're making money at like every stage. It might even sound like I'm money hungry, but to an extent, like, yeah, definitely, like, you need to just be making sure that your money's pumping through the business, because it's like literally like the lifeblood of your business, and if you run out of cash, your business is gone, and that, obviously that's not what you want. And then the second thing is, as I said, it was very fluffy, and that's just to show love and just to be like really nice. I know it might sound like, what do you mean by being nice? But there's been so many full circle moments for me where I've showed someone a bit of love, or I've given some random support or some random help, and a year down the line, or 6 months down the line, or 2 weeks down the line, I've been able to reap the benefit of the love that I've shown. And it's not even me putting out love in the expectation of getting something back, but it's just making sure that I'm nice, and then who knows what that kind of relationship can go for you. So it's just be nice to everybody, because sometimes the very person that you're nice to, or the very person that you're bad mind to, could have an opportunity there lying to really like bless you kind of thing.
No, that's real. That is definitely real. And lastly, you recently tweeted something that I thought was something worth looking into. I'm just going to literally read it word for word, if that's okay. I need to explore barbering and mental health more. The intimacy of our mobile barbershops, mixed with the convenience of us coming to you and then a barber trained to handle difficult conversations, could be amazing. I'd love to hear more.
Yeah, so basically, so a few people have planted seeds in my head about like mental health and the barbershop, and it just got me thinking about like the experience that we're creating. I've personally gone through stages, and it's a normal thing for entrepreneurs, but I've gone through stages of just feeling proper down about things, and like, from my experience, I can be down and I won't get out of bed, or I can be down and I don't really know who to talk to. And there's been times where I'm getting a trim with Chris, our head barber, and I'm just offloading, just properly offloading, and I've deeped it. Like, he might even not know how to handle some of my crap. So it'd be amazing if he was actually taught to handle some of the things that I'm telling him, because I can imagine he's getting this all the time, because we use the barbershop and our barbers almost as like therapists. But at the same time as well, the fact that now we're convenient, so if someone that is struggling from depression or someone that is feeling low, you don't need to travel to the barbershop. We're coming to you, it's convenient, and like, it just could be like almost like a perfect environment for man them to talk, because we don't do it often. But if you've created an environment that is inclusive of that or open to that, it could be something that, because I didn't go into creating Trim It in the sense to kind of help mental health, but this could be something that is perfect for it. So I need to explore it. I think
that's a brilliant idea, especially as when you're having your haircut, it's one-on-one time. So if you think of a traditional barbershop where there's, you know, maybe 4 barbers cutting, you might not feel comfortable to talk about certain things. So brilliant idea. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time.